In Alabama, a record-holding powerlifter is found dead after being reported missing by his family on Christmas Eve. In Illinois, a man is shot and killed after a fight over pizza, and a bar tab leads to his death. And a British woman dies after purchasing poison on Amazon. These stories and more are coming at you today, Thursday, January 4th on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino, our first Thirsty Thursday of the new year.
Thirsty Thursday of 2024.
Yep.
We got to have it.
I'm thirsty already.
I'm going to try to abstain for a little bit.
Are you drying out from the holidays? Did you go heavy?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I went a little heavy though. I was okay because I was sick the early part of it, but the last few days we rang in the new year in drizzly style.
There you go. So let's get down to some true crime time for Thursday.
Well, I'm going to tell you about Joe Ladnier, who is one of the greatest powerlifters from the 1980s. He's been found dead at the age of 60. Ladnier, who has also done bodybuilding, had been missing since Christmas Eve, with the search going on since then. However, some unlucky news came in on December 29th when Jackson County Sheriff's Department confirmed that Ladnier was found deceased on Landfill Road in Mobile County, Alabama. The search for Joe Ladnier lasted for multiple days, with one of the first findings being his truck. Ladnier's daughter confirmed the truck was found parked and was not wrecked, so his daughter expressed hope that Joe was on foot and alive. Unfortunately, shortly after, his body was found and he was pronounced deceased. He was last seen at his home and planned to visit his son in Moss Point, Mississippi, according to the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. Crime scene investigators responded to the location and reportedly found several of his personal items inside the truck. These included a pillow, a computer bag with his laptop, $146 in cash, and a pistol holder with no pistol. Once inventory of the truck was completed, the truck was transported by towing service to the Sheriff's Office Property Division. Canines were able to track the scent of what was believed to be Ladnier to Landfill Road, actually to a residence. The residence appeared to have electricity, but no one was inside. The residence had been vacant for some time, and so the detectives ended the search, including drone surveillance, after about 7 hours. After the official search ended, his body was discovered by the United Cajun Navy. Ladnier was a former law enforcement officer and a Navy veteran. He was also a kidney transplant recipient who needed to take daily anti-rejection medicine, and he owned a gym in Hurley, Alabama as a fitness coach. He was the first man in powerlifting to break the 2,100-pound barrier in powerlifting's three main events. He posted lifts of a 953-pound squat, a 600-pound raw bench press, and a 788-pound deadlift at just 231 pounds. No news yet as to the cause of death, but this guy
doesn't sound like anybody beat him up.
Jim looks like
monster.
Looks like he.
I don't have arms that size.
His arms are bigger than my whole body.
Just a mountain of a man.
Are they suspecting foul play?
They haven't said anything, and I dug and dug trying to get more information. It almost sounds to me like a suicide situation, but that's just looking in from the outside. It could be foul play for sure.
But he left his belongings, so that would kind of rule out the robbery.
Mm-hmm.
But pistol missing, I bet the pistol was.
And it sounded like he was parked at a landfill. It said Landfill Road, but
Road, that could be anything there. I don't know. That's
look, this guy's in the world of powerlifting. He's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of powerlifting.
He was an OG,
the GOAT.
Yeah.
And so for him to be found dead like that, the guy was still in great shape. I'll put a picture of kind of what he looked like now and what he looked like in the picture I just showed the guys here. But he was a monster back then. He was still a monster at 60. I mean, he's a big man.
I'm going to look like that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
Give yourself a little time, Woody. Take a full month.
No,
Take a full month.
I'm going to use some EFPs. No, is that what they call? No, performance enhancement, PEDs.
Yeah, that's right.
All the shit that's banned by the NFL now.
Yeah, you can take it. You're not in the NFL.
Right. But they might want me to come. So
none of your hats will fit, though. You get that Barry Bonds hat.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, suicide is always up during the holidays, and these murder suicides, and just absolutely tragic. I've worked them. I mean, the holiday times, holidays just hard for some people, right? And 3 young sisters in Houston have lost both of their parents in what authorities believe to be a murder-suicide that took place on Christmas. At approximately 10:15 on Monday, officers with the Houston PD responded to an apparent murder-suicide, and when police arrived at the home near South Post Oak and Highway 90, one of the couple's children met them outside and shared what happened. Officers was dispatched to a shooting call at the residence at the above address and located a man and woman in an upstairs bedroom. Paramedics pronounced the two deceased at the scene, and the female had suffered gunshot wounds and the male sustained a gunshot wound. That's what the HPD homicide detective said. The wife was 34 years old and her husband was 43. At this time, the identities of the victims have not been publicly shared. Detectives learned that the man and woman were husband and wife, and their 3 female children, ages 6, 9, and 14, were in the house at the time of the shooting. And one of the kids told detectives she heard her parents arguing and then several gunshots, but none of the kids were injured, y'all. The daughters, going to be placed with relatives. And investigators also said that they were able to recover what they believe is the murder weapon. The investigation is ongoing, and but the department says they don't have any reason to believe that there's a threat to the public. But it's tragic, right? 6, 9, and 14, and doing it when your kids are at home. I don't.
A lot of stuff happens over Christmas.
People just
a ton this Christmas. I mean, more than I can ever remember. It's like 2 stories a day.
National headlines, cops and stuff, and everything else. But sad, y'all, don't do it. Just get a divorce, right?
Right.
Heavily recommend that path than the other. We've had a number. We had the guy in Canada that had been selling the product online that people have been buying, who eventually got convicted in Canada recently, where people were committing suicide using his product. Well, we've got one today that involves a British woman who took her own life. She was only 43 years old, and she took her own life with a substance, a poison she bought on Amazon after using an internet chat site to forge a suicide pact with fellow members. So apparently there are some of these chat rooms now for people who are suicidal, and they're supposed to be support groups, but instead she develops a suicide pact with fellow members. So Chloe McDermott is her name, 43 years old. She took her own life using an unnamed substance ordered from the United States after joining an online forum that encouraged suicide. She made an agreement on the night of her death to carry out the act with fellow members, one of whom was also British. Chloe was married, had been struggling with her mental health for some years, and had used the internet research to research ways to end her life as she became increasingly suicidal. Following her death, Paul Rogers, who's the assistant coroner of West London, contacted both Google and Amazon to raise the alarm over the access to such websites and the ease with which lethal substances can be purchased. And so I never thought that you could go on any of these sites and just buy, and they would, no questions asked, just ship this stuff off to you. But in a what they call a prevention of future deaths report, which is a British thing, Mr. Rogers highlighted that the unnamed website used by McDermott had no age or other restrictions in place to prevent access to children, vulnerable teenagers, and vulnerable adults. He also flagged how there was, quote, no prominent signposting offering help, and there was a lack of effective administration removing the harmful content on the website. So this guy is going after now, and I shouldn't say this guy, this is the British government going after both Amazon and Google for selling these products, not providing any warnings about them, and apparently shipping them around the world knowing what the heck they are. So
I'm going to say that's bullshit.
Shit.
I bet you she bought something like Drano and drank it, and it killed her. And they think, well, this guy's basically saying you need to put a warning on there. If you drink Drano, you could die.
I mean, you can sell
because they're not naming. It's not like she searched poison,
right? But if it was Drano, they would name it.
No. It's like the potpourri shit that people smoke, the fake weed, and that makes them crazy, and suicides. Yeah, and all that shit. Whatever it was, I'm sure they didn't label it. A suicide
here's
kit.
Poison.
Here's a suicide kit. Kill yourself.
It could have been rat poison. It could have been anything.
But doesn't mean that this. They didn't imply on there that like the guy from Canada. Basically, it's implied that you take this shit.
It's so you go deeper into the story, and it's apparently this forum where there are people who are well informed, who know these things that you can buy. It's not Drano or anything like that. It's names not commonly known, things that can be combined easily, like and can produce, because what people are looking for is a painless death. They're not looking to suffer.
Right. But I don't think it's promoted on Amazon as poison.
No.
Something to kill you.
No. It's not. But there's no warning about misuse of the product or anything like that.
So look, I was going to get you a set of steak knives for Christmas, but they had a warning on there.
If you slice your jugular with them, you could die. If you eat Tide Pods, you could die.
I think what you're saying though is
they do have a warning on Tide Pods.
Is that these forum groups that they're out there? I mean, and there's all kinds of sickos out there where they're like, if you want to do it, you drink a bottle of eye drops or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah, it would seem like if there should be a problem with anything going on here, it would be a problem with these online forums.
Yes,
except
I agree with you.
The fact that you've got countries like Canada, where
suicide.
Well, it's at least legal with a doctor involved. Right. So I guess in this instance, it would be illegal the way they would.
I don't know, man. I've worked too many of them. I don't get it. And by the way, I know I said it before. I'm going on record again. If y'all ever find me and it looks like a suicide, call a homicide detective because I ain't doing it.
There you go.
I don't care if it's got a handwritten note. I didn't do it. Okay.
All right. We're all put on those.
Put on those. Call.
And we have your blessing to
go find you a Woody Overton work case.
To torture the motherfucker when we find him.
Yes. And take him to murder by you.
Okay. Got it.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of an LSU Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
All right. Look, y'all ever lose anything commonly that just pisses you off every time you misplace it?
Yeah, like everything. And my remote control being the most. You know, the last
remote
time
control,
I found remote
yeah,
control,
that's a good one.
You know where I found it at? In the icebox. I got
Really?
Evidently, I got up to get something to eat with remote control and put it in there and got something to eat. And they got set down.
For me, it's my iPods.
Yeah, like the ear things.
Yeah, I listen to them at night when I'm trying to go to sleep,
Yeah.
and they fall on the floor, they fall under the bed, or they get all up in the covers, and I have to strip the whole bed to find them.
Holy shit.
Yeah, nothing pisses me
But
off.
so you
more
go
than
to sleep with the music on.
with podcast on, not music.
okay.
I don't listen to music with them. But yeah, I usually listen to my podcast. while I'm
Soothing podcast.
This is the ultimate producer podcast diehard specialist. He goes to sleep listening to podcasts.
that's
He
right.
dreams about podcasts. He wakes up, produces, and
sad
hosts
that I do
podcasts.
that. I could dream
listening
about
to
anything, and I'm dreaming about
an
podcasts.
axe murderer series, and you know that just puts him right to sleep.
Right to sleep. But what about you, Mike?
I don't lose things.
You don't lose keys. You don't lose.
I have a family of people who do nothing but lose things, and it drives me freaking crazy because I don't ever lose anything.
Well,
I know some people that lose
It just drives me nuts.
25 times a day. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And, you know, the
But I do lose
simplest
shit, so.
things, like remembering if something's important to you, remember where you put it, have a place for it. But it drives me nuts.
well, some people they lose their phones and it pisses them off, drives them nuts. And this guy took it to a whole new level on Christmas. Shortly after 3 p.m., Napier, Illinois Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a home in reference to a shot person. Once there, they located the victim, James Watson, inside the residence, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to his abdomen. He was rushed to the local hospital and pronounced dead. The victim in the downstairs area of the home was in the downstairs area of the home and became upset because he couldn't find his cell phone. He reportedly slammed a card table on the floor, and the victim's half-brother, 28-year-old Kendall Yarborough, who was upstairs in another part of the house, shot down towards Watson, striking him in the abdomen. Family members called 911 and rendered aid until the deputies arrived. Officials recovered a 9mm Sig Sauer. You know about that.
Good one, I did.
P365X handgun and one spent 9mm bullet casing at the scene. They apprehended Yarborough without incident, and he is charged with first-degree murder.
So did he die?
In the incident,
Yeah.
Shot him in the stomach. He died all because, the victim got upset because he couldn't find his cell phone, probably started yelling at his half-brother, where you put my cell phone? I know I left it in your room. And he said, pop.
Yeah. Pop.
Yeah, that was it. On Christmas Day,
Gift to keep someone giving.
2023.
2023.
Yes, sir.
He'd be dead.
Yeah, over a missing cell
Killed him
phone.
good.
I've been wanting, look,
Chicago.
I get pissed when I can't find my AirPods, but not that pissed.
Yeah, no shit.
That's major.
I'd have never been that mad about losing.
No. Now, I've stripped the whole bed when it was made because I knew my little ear pod was in there somewhere and pissed my wife off. Ooh,
She
gets
might have
mad.
shot you.
Yeah.
No, she just
I lock it up.
She just whip you out.
Yeah, that's right.
Winning a little pistol. No pun intended.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
People would do it over anything.
I mean, he canceled all the rest of his Christmases. He'll be in prison.
That's right.
So let's talk about getting shot. And another crazy story. A beloved Illinois man described by his longtime friend as the life of the party was fatally shot on Friday during a dispute over a pizza and a bar tab. Dexter Perkins was visiting Rosie O'Reilly's in Wheaton when he got into an altercation with Michael Froome and two other men at around 8:40 a.m. that morning. Okay, so this is, I'll say it again. At around 8:40 a.m. that morning, DuPage County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to calls of shots fired at the bar. 8:40 a.m. in the morning, okay? When the officers arrived at the location on Brumley Lane, they discovered Perkins deceased. An investigation into the shooting found that a fight arose over a pizza and the bar tab between Perkins, Froome, and two other unidentified men. A brief scuffle allegedly occurred on the outside front porch of the bar between Perkins and one of the unidentified men, prompting Froome, 49, to allegedly pull out a 9mm Glock handgun. Jim, you know about that. From, actually, you do too, huh, Mike? From his jacket pocket and fired two warning shots into the air. Perkins then approached the other man, at which time Froome, who was standing on the other side of a wooden railing, fired at him, striking him in the torso and in the face. Now, after the shooting, Froome placed the handgun, which had been fired a total of 11 times, in the center console of his truck, where it was later found by law enforcement. He was taken into custody at the Rosie O'Reilly's without incident.
Dang.
Bruh.
Well,
11 times.
I might be like,
pizza serious stuff.
but then at 8:40 in the morning, you
know,
there all motherfucking night long, and you know, maybe it's a 24-hour pizza bar. I mean, I'm the key of day drinking. Don't get me wrong. I like to go sit in a restaurant and have drinks and then get my lunch and whatever and go take it out. But
that's extended night drinking.
Yeah. The only time I've been at a bar room at 8:40 a.m. in the morning, it's like Mardi Gras, and we hadn't gone to bed yet. I don't know.
And
Jim,
you've
been at a bar
seldom do good things.
Not at
happen
8:40
when
in the
that's
morning.
I don't think I've ever ate pizza at 8:40 in the morning unless it was leftover.
Now, I've ate pizza at 8:40 in the morning. Cold pizzas. Oh, man, you wake
Cold
up the
pizza's
next
good
morning.
shit.
Oh, it's so good.
But who serves pizza and alcohol at 8:40 in the morning? And then shoot 11 times. You know why he didn't shoot 12?
Why?
Because he didn't have a 12 bullet.
Yeah,
Right?
that's it.
That's it. There you go.
Well, you got people killing people over mobile phones. You got people killing people over pizza. I got people killing people over Christmas gifts.
Oh, that's
And guess where that happens?
No, don't say it.
Illinois.
Is this going to be Pinellas County for the first time this year?
Nowhere else but Pinellas County.
I've been waiting on
Florida.
this all year long.
A teenager in Florida has been arrested and charged for shooting his sister dead during an argument over their Christmas gifts. According to Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Abriel Baldwin, age 23, died after her brother, DeMarcus, age 14, shot her in the chest at their grandmother's house. This led to their other brother, Darkus, who's 15, shooting DeMarcus, the 14-year-old, before fleeing the scene. Both DeMarcus and Abriel were transported to a local hospital. While the boy survived his wounds, the sister was pronounced deceased by medical staff on arrival. Through their investigation, detectives learned DeMarcus, 15-year-old Darkus Cooley, and Abriel, who were all siblings, went Christmas shopping with their mother and Abriel's 11-month-old and 6-year-old sons. They then went to their grandmother's home where DeMarcus, Darkus, and Abriel were involved in a verbal altercation over Christmas gifts. After Abriel told DeMarcus to stop arguing because it was Christmas, DeMarcus told Abriel he was going to shoot her and the 11-month-old she was holding in the baby carrier. DeMarcus shot Abriel in the chest while Abriel was holding the child in the carrier. Shortly thereafter, Darkus exited the residence with another firearm and shot DeMarcus because DeMarcus had shot Abriel. Darkus then fled the scene, tossing his firearm into a nearby yard. Detectives have been unable to find that weapon as of yet. DeMarcus was apparently upset that Darkus had received more gifts than he did. God. Quote, she was just a woman going about life with her 2 kids, trying to make a living and trying to make it. They reported, that's from Pinellas County Sheriff Gualtieri, saying about Abriel, who was the mother of Sue. After he fled the scene, Darkus contacted his mother and was later taken to a mental health facility following self-harm statements. So he's trying to go the mental illness.
So maybe they all got pistols for Christmas?
Yeah.
How many firearms do you have available to
It's unfreaking believable. So the 14-year-old DeMarcus has been charged with first-degree murder, child abuse, and a delinquent in possession of a firearm. Darkus has been charged with attempted first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. The investigation is continuing, according to Pinellas County Sheriffs. That's a perfectly appropriate first of the year for Pinellas County. Christmas gifts.
Oh, man. I don't understand it. I mean,
I don't even know what to think about that.
I don't either. Hey, but let me ask y'all something real quick. What's the coolest Christmas present you got this year?
This year?
Yep. I got 2.
Well, you go first.
My daughter came in from San Diego, my oldest, and she got me this keychain that talks about me being her hero and loving her dad. And my WL, my youngest, got me this turtle because I'm the turtle specialist. They have a tracker on him. He's out of Puerto Rico, and you can scan the QR code at any time and see where he is. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
I got the same model that I had given you. That my wife said, "Look, when we're in a fight and you're not getting any, you don't have to just come to me and say you're wrong just because you want to, get back in bed. Just feel free to date her while we're having the fight." So I'm gonna really like having that.
There you go.
I think for me I got 5 books for my daughters that are really good.
Cool.
Yeah. Marcus Aurelius.
Oh yeah.
Reflections, which I've been wanting to read for a while. For those of you that are Gladiator fans.
Yeah, right.
Marcus Aurelius.
He was a pimp.
Yeah, he was a pimp.
He was a general, a very famous general before he became a slave. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that he became the ruler of what you call it?
The Roman Empire.
Roman Empire.
Yeah.
So got that and got some true crime books that I've been having my eye on, and some self improvement books like I like to read, all that sort of stuff.
Bro, you perfect.
Shit.
I think
I thank you for your confidence, but I'm far from.
All right, I'm sorry, we went off track.
That's all right. All right.
So what we got?
Mile High.
You know, I was watching the news over the holidays. People acting stupid.
This is a crazy one I come across that I'm going to tell you about right now. Man returning from his family's Christmas celebration was stopped by TSA officials over a surprise gift his grandmother sent him home with. Brett Gaffney shared the viral story on TikTok shortly after Christmas. While still at the airport, though, he filmed it and said his grandmother had given him the briefcase as a Christmas gift and instructed him not to open it until he arrived home. I was like, what's in the briefcase? It's super heavy. And she said, just wait till you get there. And I was like, Grandma, I'm going to the airport. Like, I need to know. Gaffney, perhaps knowing how suspicious the briefcase appeared, joked in an on-screen message to his grandma that she was trying to get him arrested. Gaffney explained that when he was ultimately stopped by TSA, he was forced to admit that he did not know what was inside the case. So I go through security at the airport. The machine goes off and it gets flagged as it's going through the conveyor belt. The guy tells me what's inside. He explains this in the video. He then opened the briefcase to reveal a typewriter. Who am I, Tom Hanks, he asked, referencing the actor's typewriter collection. Apparently, Tom Hanks has a major typewriter collection. Hey, am I going to go to the park and write a whole book with this typewriter? I almost didn't get in the airport because of this typewriter, he said, because they asked me what's inside. And I said, I don't know. It's a surprise. Eventually, Gaffney did pass security and make it to his flight. In a caption, he added that TSA officials told him they had already inspected another briefcase / typewriter earlier that day.
It must have been another grandma.
That's it. Since the video went viral, Gaffney has provided updates on TikTok of him learning how to use a typewriter and getting the right supplies to make it work properly. He also users claim to have noticed a compartment inside of the briefcase, which Gaffney later inspected and found to contain a $2 bill.
Really?
Yep.
I thought
Grandma will get you those $2
I thought he was
bills.
full of shit and he was going to be carrying kilos of cocaine. Blame it on Grandma. He had a
No
typewriter.
cocaine from Grandma.
Can you even get a typewriter anymore? But the $2 bill too.
Yeah, she had the $2 in there.
Maybe Grandma was regifting shit.
That's right. But I'd imagine the TSA officials thought he was full of it when he's like, I don't know what's in there.
I don't know what's in there. Typewriters
could have been anything.
aren't light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So there you go. A little Christmas Day surprise for a man.
I'm pretty sure I'm never going to be carrying something through TSA that I don't know what it is.
Possible first violation of the must be a crime rule for 2024. Carrying a typewriter with a $2 bill would not be.
When you stop by officials,
You got searched.
When you're stopped by officials to look in your bag, that counts.
that would qualify.
Okay.
There you go.
The board will not look into the incident.
Yes. And time for Kinky Crimes for Thursday. All right, y'all. For the second time in 5 months, a couple has been arrested for having sex on a Florida sidewalk. This time in the vicinity of a parade, right? Fort Myers cops Sunday afternoon arrested Bernadette Williams, 47, and Phil Daly, 58, for lewd and lascivious behavior. An off-duty cop first spotted the homeless duo having sex on a downtown sidewalk around 5 p.m. How fucking comfortable can it be? I don't care if you're on your hands and knees or you're doing it regular style or whatever the fuck. It cannot be comfortable to have sex.
They use those new extra soft sidewalks in the Fort Myers area. So they're softer.
Are you fucking with me?
Yes, I'm fucking.
I was like, what's the point of having an extra soft? I used to run on a track that had that spongy material, but I'm pretty sure you're getting some sex burns on some part of your body. All right. So anyway, at the time, the officer was driving home from the Edison Festival of Lights Parade, which includes floats and marching bands, clowns, and a fun run. On-duty cops located Williams and Daly unclothed, in line on a main street sidewalk. The pair, who appeared intoxicated, had their genitals exposed, and Daly was seen thrusting his hips.
Nope.
There you go.
Hard to get out of that one.
Guarantee he got some sex burns on his knees. Daly denied that the couple was having sex, instead claiming that they had only been dry humping. He told the cops that he did not think that the pair was in the wrong, and they enjoyed having sexy.
Hell yeah. Nothing wrong with a little sexy.
Williams and Daly are locked up in a Lee County jail, and they each face felony charges since police say they actually saw them having sex. The couple was also arrested in September of 2018 after a bicycle patrol officer witnessed Williams performing oral sex on Daly on a Fort Myers sidewalk on a Monday afternoon. They were both
likes the sidewalk, doesn't
right. They were both convicted of misdemeanors and received identical sentences, 25 days in jail, and or paid $370 in court costs.
And that's not a homeless person, right? They have a place they could go.
Yeah, but
They're
say they're homeless.
Oh, they are homeless.
But I mean, on the sidewalk, I could go behind a building by a dumpster or something. I mean, maybe they just like being seen. Exhibitions.
Or sidewalk might have been the cleanest spot.
Sexy is the word for the day.
Sexy. Nothing wrong with a little sexy.
Put the words
Dry
together.
humping's not a felony, though.
It is if you fix this way.
Or just dry humping.
Sexy.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something. All the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real-life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
Here we go. He's about to bless us with some knowledge. I see it on his face.
No. So I don't know if you guys fell into this over the holidays, but over the holidays, especially being as sick as I was for a time period, I really couldn't do much. And so I fell into these traps of watching, like I watched every single Die Hard movie. They ran them in succession. And they had all the Home Alones. I did all the Home Alones with my son. And I did every single James Bond movie on Turner Classics, did every single Bond movie.
I've seen every Bond movie.
Have you seen every Bond movie?
When I was a kid, my daddy used to watch them on Sunday.
Few of them.
My daddy used to watch them on Sunday nights, and I had to go to bed at 9 o'clock. And the TV was in my bedroom's off the living room, and I used to leave my door cracked and watch them. All the Bonds,
some great villains, some great Bond girls, some great movies. Some not so great, but
I've seen The Spy Who Shagged Me and Austin Powers. I've seen a lot of those.
It's a good one.
Yeah, those are good too. Anyway.
Not as good as Goldmember, but The Spy Who Shagged Me was good.
Yeah.
Was good.
What was the What would y'all say was your favorite Bond?
Bond girl.
No, Bond, actual. Because Sean Connery played Bond.
I got a couple of them.
All these different
I thought you
ones.
were going to say the Bond female, and mine was Pussy Galore.
Well,
They always had a sexual name. They almost always had a sexual name. Her name was Pussy Galore. You couldn't get away with that nowadays.
Well,
we just did.
I have to tell you that Pussy Galore was actually the name used because these movies are all based on Ian Fleming's novels, and that was the character in Ian Fleming's novel. Oftentimes, they didn't take the character name from his novel; they changed the name in the movie.
Do you know Ian Fleming, who wrote them all? He named James Bond for his best friend. What did his best friend do for a living?
He's a spy.
Ornithologist. He's a bird watcher.
You kidding?
Swear to God.
Wow.
Sorry, Laura. I swear to goodness.
That takes a little bit of the cool out of James Bond.
But back to it, I've loved a lot of them. Sean Connery, naturally. I even, believe it or not, really liked Bronson.
I liked it. I thought he did a great
and I really
job.
liked the blonde-headed dude. What's his name? The most recent one.
He was the best. Daniel Craig.
The worst was that Hutton guy or whatever. The guy right before
Timothy.
E.L. Hutton.
Timothy Hutton was
It wasn't Hutton, but
that dude sucked.
okay. So wait, before you go too deep, I've got a little game around James Bond and these, but you'll see that the questions aren't that hard because sometimes I'm looking for the name of the movie, sometimes I'm looking for the name of the Bond girl, and but it's easy to understand once we get going, right? So, for instance, here's the first one.
I just have to come back on you if you mess with Jim about his TSA story.
These are villains. These are crimes. Bond is all about crime.
We got to have our first board meeting in 2024.
Wow. I can't believe I'm being challenged on Bond. Come
just
on.
messing with you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Honey Rider, who was played by Ursula Andress, dazzled cinema audiences when she stepped out of the Caribbean Sea wearing a white bikini with a large hunting knife at her side. She proved to be immensely popular with fans and set the tone for all Bond girls to come in this very first Bond film from 1962.
And you know what? I can't tell you because I can't remember the names back that far, but I had a just vivid memory of Halle Berry coming out in Cuba out of the water in that bikini, and she had a knife on.
Just might be a question about that because that scene was modeled after this scene.
That's what I figured.
From the first movie, the very first movie was
that chick was fine too.
Dr. No.
Dr.
was
No.
the first movie, 1962. Okay.
Did you ever notice a lot of the gadgets? That's my favorite part of movies when he'd go down to see Q and get his gadgets and shit. A lot of ones in the older movies ended up being real shit. Like the watches, they could do whatever. And, that's before they had GPS and stuff. And
they're tracking stuff, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at it and compare it to what you can do today. Right. I mean, it's a joke. Okay. So the evocatively named Pussy Galore was an original Ian Fleming character from his novel. Ms. Galore ran a flying circus of female pilots who were hired by blank to fly over Fort Knox and gas the soldiers so that blank could break into the gold vault. Yep. Mike Myers played Austin Powers in a satire of this film.
Yeah, and I can't remember the names, but I can tell you everything that happened in the movie.
Goldfinger.
Yeah.
My goodness, guys. Okay.
In the end, they didn't he kill people by covering them in gold?
Yeah.
So the pores couldn't breathe, or ever so they couldn't breathe.
Okay.
So eventually, Mike's going to let me try to answer the question.
Yeah. Well, no,
instead of no, I knew that answer.
Well, why didn't you say it?
I started to, and you. Woody said he had no idea, and you said it was Goldfinger. And I was sitting back here going, "Well, okay."
Since when are you shy?
Okay. It's all right. Keep going. I'm not going to know the answer to any that one. I know.
No, you're going to know
the
answers
other ones
to many of these, but I don't want to take too long, so I'm going to do less of them. I'm going to skip some. Solitaire was a psychic tarot card reader working for a heroin baron named Dr. Kananga.
One of my favorites.
She predicted the movements of James Bond and other men who posed a threat to their operations. This film was generally known as the best Roger Moore Bond film and featured a boat chase through the Louisiana Bayou.
Sure did, and had Jaws in it. The dude with the steel teeth. Or maybe that was Moon.
It had Jaws in it.
Jaws, that big dude. He had the steel mouth. He could just. That was my. That it also had the guy with the hat that was
sheriff.
the half face. No, he was the villain. He was the voodoo guy.
Oh yeah, no, they had those guys, but they had
that's one of my all time favorites.
Sheriff J.W. Pepper too. You picked the wrong parish.
Picked the wrong parish.
So whole ass through, boy. Jane Seymour was the actress who played Solitaire, but the movie, come on, guys, Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die. Damn it.
I should have said Paul McCartney's theme song.
Guns N' Roses covered it well.
Okay. All right. Come on. This one, Anya Amasova.
On the top.
This is a different one, who was played by Barbara Bach. You know who Barbara Bach is?
Yep.
Ringo Starr's wife. Okay. Barbara Bach.
Who's Ringo Starr?
Okay, forget it. She played a KGB agent working under a general. She had the same mission as Bond to retrieve stolen microfilms for a submarine tracking system.
For your eyes only.
This Bond movie, close but not quite. This Bond movie featured one of its most successful songs, which became a big hit for Carly Simon in 1977. Jim mentioned the satire that was done with Austin Powers earlier.
Goldmember?
The Spy Who Loved Me. You mentioned The Spy Who Shagged Me earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a good one.
Man, guys.
I know all these movies.
I got to get when you guys are going to get right. I thought you guys were.
Should have done it with the Austin Powers version. We get every single one. Right.
I didn't watch all the Austin Powers ones over the. Okay, wait. This one, somebody will get and we'll declare him the winner. This is from, I'll tell you the movie, because we're actually looking for the name of the actress here, which you both know. This is from The World Is Not Enough, which was 1999.
Halle Berry.
Okay, so this time we're looking for the name of the actress who played Christmas Jones in 1999's The World Is Not Enough. Christmas Jones was a nuclear physicist working for an international agency that decommissioned nuclear weapons from the Soviet Union era.
When they blew it up in the beginning.
Jones helped Bond investigate a bomb traveling along Electric King's oil pipeline. This Bond girl is the only Bond girl to also become a real housewife. We recently featured a story about her daughter that she had with actor Charlie Sheen becoming an OnlyFans
Carmen
star.
Electra, the chick with the lips. It's Carmen Electra. I could see her. Anyway, she had the pipeline. She got off the helicopter. They had a snow skiing scene in it and everything. Denise Richards. Yeah, I get this.
Did anybody get any of these right yet?
No,
all right.
No.
All right, here it is. Last one. And we're looking for the actress's name.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
And they both get Halle Berry. My game is destroyed.
Jim was ahead of me. You got it.
What was her character's name?
Hot as hell.
Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx.
You ever seen Monsters Ball?
Yes, I have.
I just want you to make me feel good.
You
remember that part?
Yeah, I did. It came out.
Halle Berry.
Make me feel for knowledge's sake, a real life, real crime community app was developed by the same company that developed Halle Berry's app, as well as My Legs for Sunday Night Football. What's her name? Carrie Underwood and a bunch of other people. Top fan.
One interesting thing that I sort of mentioned was this Die Another Day movie that Halle Berry played in. She played the character of Jinx. Was done in 2002, which was the 40th anniversary of Bond films, and so they had her come out of the water the same exact way that Ursula Andress did in Dr. No in the Bikini with the Knife.
Yeah. Hey, also one more.
The best coming out of water scene was on Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That was really good too.
That was before she went in the water.
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah,
it was the diving board through and then her coming up.
Real quick, another fast Bond fact. Every Bond movie, every one of them, was shot on location. If they say they're in Morocco, they're in Morocco.
Oh, really?
If they say they're in Cuba, they're in Cuba. Wherever it is, that's what they're famous for. They're all
Tom Cruise does his own stunts.
Really?
Yes.
How many stunts did he do? Hey, you know what I love?
Shit.
What's the one? How about
Mission Impossible? That sucker's doing all
Tom
kinds
Cruise.
of
I was
stuff.
thinking of
riding
Tom.
motorcycles.
I was thinking
all
of Tom Hanks because
He does
my
not do
favorite
his
Tom
own
Hanks
stuff.
movie is, besides all the obvious ones, when he was the hitman.
Bosom Buddies.
When he was I used to love that.
Bachelor was his best movie.
No. When he was at the Road to Perdition. When he was the hitman for Mafia.
that was great.
That was
yeah.
good, yeah.
Bosom Buddies was awesome too.
Yeah, that was.
You know, there's about 10 instances of sex abuse in each of the Bond films, the first 10 of them. I mean, Sean Connery's beating up these. It's just crazy
they're
watching
drinking
them.
and smoking. Like a martini, shaking not stirred.
I may go back and watch a few Bonds because I've only seen a few of them.
Yeah, all of them are great.
They're the best.
They're all great. They really are. All right.
There you go,
There
peeps.
you go, Peeps. and greatest villains and everything.
Yeah.
But if you do notice that like 90% of the Bond women have some type of sex names, like Natanya on the top.
Yeah, no, that was Famke Janssen played her.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of them, but Pussy Galore was the.
Yes.
Oh, there was also Octopus.
Hey, when I was
I remember that.
Hey, when I was a kid, and I'm just peeking through the door, and they were like, "What's your name?" Pussy Galore, and I was like 8 years old. I was
said
like,
the P word. Yeah.
We didn't. You didn't say crap or nothing in my house. My parents would beat the shit out of you.
And look at us now.
Look at us now. All right.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, that's like the preacher's kid. You turn him loose.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Just love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Please continue to comment, like, and share. And, if you have any ideas for stories, whatever, send them in. We'd love to acknowledge y'all and everything else.
Yeah, and beginning of the year is a time where people maybe decide there's some podcasts that they have been listening to that they're not going to listen to in the new year, and they're looking for some new shows. So don't think your friends have necessarily heard this show, because many of them haven't. So please give us a share or two and get some new people to check out the show.
Yep. 10-4.
There we go. Until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
For Real Life, Real Crime Daily, peace.
Aglets.